Hey, so this is where we're going to talk more about our two divisions of plants. Remember, we talked about the plant kingdom, and we've learned a lot about plants so far, but we're going to expound on the two divisions, the vascular versus non-vascular plants, for today. It should be pretty short. Okay, so our plant kingdom, as we said, has two major divisions. We have vascular plants. So a tree would be an example. And we have non-vascular plants like moss. So we're going to talk about our main difference between these two types of plants. So for our vascular plants have what we call a vascular system inside them, which are just tubes that carry the water and nutrients throughout the plant. So as you can see, I talked a little bit about the tubes, like when you crack celery open, you can see them. Those are the kinds of things we're talking about. So in our tree here, as an example in the picture, you can see water in the blue arrows coming in from the roots, right? That's the root's job, and up through the tree, up to the leaves. So it can carry water throughout the plant so that the leaves can get water to do photosynthesis. And then you can see the sugar in the green arrows, which is our glucose, which is what's produced from our photosynthesis, okay, is then carried in our green arrows down through the plant, throughout the plant, through the stem and the roots, so that all of the plant can have food, okay? So because they have these tubes that can go through the plant, that lets vascular plants grow tall. So most plants you think of are vascular: trees, flowers, grass, etc., okay? Bushes, vines, pretty much anything that can grow up off the soil is going to be a vascular plant because it can carry that water and nutrients, what they need, throughout like the stem, right, and through the tubes that are inside. I know you're probably thinking grass is short. Well, that's because you guys mow your lawns. If you never mowed your lawns, right, you don't cut the grass, it would keep growing and you'd get a field or a meadow. I know you learn about like the Plains Indians out in the West, right? They live on these really grassy plains. Well, that's because no one cuts the grass, so it can grow tall. So grass is indeed a vascular plant. Non-vascular plants, on the other hand, okay, they do not have a vascular system. So they have no roots and no stems. So they have to stay low to the ground in order to get water, which they absorb from their surroundings. And there are only three types of non-vascular plants. Moss, which you need to know. You need to know that moss is a non-vascular plant. That's the one they're going to ask you about, okay? Something called liverwort and something called hornwort. And those are your three types of vascular plants: moss, liverwort, and hornwort. If it is not moss, liverwort, or hornwort, it is a vascular plant, meaning it grows tall. So pretty much everything you normally know is a vascular plant. You just have to remember these three are non-vascular and everything else is vascular, okay? So moss, which you definitely need to know, liverwort, and hornwort, those are your non-vascular plants, okay? Everything else is vascular. They have the tubes, they can grow tall. These plants, as you can see in the pictures, are very low to the ground. They can't get very high because they need to be able to absorb that water from their surroundings. So they can't get up because they don't have stems to transport their water and nutrients throughout the plant. They just have to stay on the ground, okay? And that was vascular and non-vascular plants. That's your divisions of plants of the plant kingdom, and that is the basics for you.